lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
All right, guys, we are back for another round of the PWCC weekly hockey auction-ending watch party here on Sports Cards Live. It is Sunday, November the 26th, 2023. My name is Jeremy Lee. We have a great show ahead. We've got, let's just bring him out. Let's bring out Josh Madigan. Josh Madigan, welcome back. How have you been, buddy?
I'm well. Crazy weekend. Traveled a lot for the holidays here in the U.S., but back home, first snowfall of the season here in the Twin Cities. So there we go.
First snowfall. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you and the family. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody south of the border in the U.S. Hope everyone had a nice, safe holiday. And it's Sunday, and we're back to the, well, what do we have? Cyber Monday tomorrow? That's still a thing, isn't it? Cyber Monday coming up tomorrow. We're still celebrating Black Friday, it seems like, all over the internet right now. Josh, we have 137 hockey cards selling tonight on the PWCC weekly platform. We have identified 52. That's one for each week of the year. We have identified 52 cards that we are going to look at and jump into in additional depth. I want to say hello to Baseball Card Curmudgeon. What is up, fella? We have Lash Wine, which I learned today. That Lash Wine is a synonym for Sylvain. Sil means lash and va means wine. So he is Lash Wine. I watched Sylvain today on the Coach Co podcast, and that's where I learned that. Sylvain, welcome to the show, buddy. Jake Dahl, what is going on? Justin Bode is back. Lash Wine says Black Friday seems to be a 2-week thing nowadays. It sure does. Daniel Pincente, what is going on? Good evening to you. Hobby Champs, good to see you, pal. And Phil is back, the Loud Collector. Check out his YouTube channel. What's up, Phil? Good to see you, buddy. All right, well, how are your Minnesota Wild doing lately? Oh, no, don't ask, he says. No, don't ask.
A great show, Jeremy. Really enjoyed it.
Thanks for having me, everybody.
The Wild stink. It's not good. It's bad. I think they've lost 8 games in a row. Our goalie stinks. Matt Boldy, who makes $8 million a year, is missing in action. Can't score a goal. Kaprizov although he's been about a point per game guy, I think he has one regulation goal, one 5-on-5 goal this season. He's a shell of himself. Nobody else can score. But other than that, everything's going great.
You're like, why do you gotta be that way, Jeremy?
The reverse retros are cool. We got the North Stars colors, so we got that hanging. And our guy Flower kind of stood up to the NHL. Kind of proud of him for that. For kind of a weird rule, anyways, and reaction they had to all the stuff last year. But it was nice to see him take a stand. And it sounds like the NHL is not punishing him anyways.
Yeah, they better not. I mean, if they did, there'd be an uproar for sure. I mean, what he did was I think was a wonderful thing. Justin, welcome back. Good to have you back. First time live since the Expo. Todd McDonald, pleasure to see you. Rich Goring and Rally Sports Cards. What's going on, Rally? Welcome to the show. Mike is in the house as well. Good evening, Mike. Nice to see you as always. All right, well, let's jump into it. Let's jump into it, Josh. You guys may notice that you'll see a bunch of you been out bids here because I did bid on a bunch of cards. PWCC has a promotion going on. For every bid that you place, you are entered into a draw. So I placed a bunch of bids, and then I saw that it was only applicable to a U.S. resident. So I kind of slowed down on my bids. But in any event, let's get started. 1933 Sport Kings, Eddie Shore. I mean, I say this a lot. When I say I love this card a lot, I do love these cards, and I do love this card. I mean, this is kind of like the 33 Gaudies in baseball, but this is a multi-sport set, and you got Eddie Shore and Howie Morenz for hockey players. There might also be Ace Bailey, I think, might also be in the set, maybe a fourth player Not
One more.
exactly sure.
Ching Johnson.
Ching Johnson is the fourth.
Yep.
Yeah, the Gong Show did their research, you guys. I love it. Well, this Eddie Shore is a very cool card. I do own a copy of the Howie Moran's. I traded for it at a Edmonton card show years ago. Really cool cards. This one's a near mint 7. Looks pretty nice. We also have a second year Tim Horton. Maybe my favorite Tim Horton card. This, if you haven't noticed, this is the same image that's on his rookie card, except it's a lot bigger. It's blown up on the 53 here. This is a near mint 7, and we'll have a look at it. It's off center a little bit, and then we have a PSA 8 Phil Esposito 65 tops rookie card. Let's have a look at the Eddie Shore first of all. I mean, listen, this card is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. It's not perfect, of course, but 1933. Look at the centering; it's off to the right. And outside of that, I mean, yeah, a little bit of something going on up here in the top right corner. But otherwise, this thing looks really, really nice. Like, just look at that, guys. Eddie Shore, his rookie card is 1933. I don't know if this is, I guess this would be considered a rookie card, although I've never personally thought, I look at his O-Pee-Chee as my preferred rookie. But this, it's like, you don't buy this card because it's his rookie. You buy this card because it is just amazing. It's a lot nicer than his 33 O-Pee-Chee, I'll tell you that, which I own a copy of that. I don't own a copy of this. This is beautiful. Love the card. Everything about it. Just amazing. The 53 Tim Horton second year card. This copy is off-centered, but again, well within a PSA 7 centering standard. And just look at this image of him. I mean, he looks a little bit awkward, but hey, it's an awesome, awesome card. I love it. And then this is a really nice near mint to mint Phil Esposito rookie. As I look at it, let's zoom in on this one. Top corners are nice, top edges nice, side edges are both clean, bottom corners are great. A little bit of fray coming off the bottom here, no big deal. Like the clarity of this card and the color is popping, like, and the centering is like really good. Not perfect, a shade to the right, I would say, but really a really nice, bold copy. Really good color on this. This is an 8. PWCC gives it the E, and I'm thinking that's more than fair. I mean, this card is just beautiful. Josh, how do you like the Eddie Shore Sport Kings?
Love it. It's hard. I think you kind of mentioned it too. It's hard not to see a 1933 Gaudy card and not think of Babe Ruth, but it's just so it's synonymous, and I think that makes owning this card kind of cool as well. So I've got a challenge for you in the chat that we noticed about this card on our show. So if you scroll down to the bottom of the card and you look at the silhouettes, the one that's the second from the right, can anyone explain what's going on there?
Snowboarder. They were snowboarding back in the 30s, apparently.
Okay. Like, what is this? That's
going on, what?
But
it might just be somebody having a rest on the ice, holding the stick up. Who knows what that is? But yeah,
family show.
Funny. Family show. Pretty funny observation right there. The Tim Horton, the second year Horton. I mean, you guys have looked at enough vintage to have a thought on this card, Josh.
Yeah, it's so nice. I think that the only struggle anyone would have here, if you're a person that's bothered by centering, but man, there's so many great things going for this card. I love just the image seems soft in some ways, but in a good way, and there's that crispness and clarity to it. So a really nice copy. And then the Esposito, I agree, is amazing. It's just it's so crisp and so clear. Very nice PSA 8.
Yeah, we had a comment. Justin Bode here says it looks like a PSA 9 to me, and I'm not going to argue with that. We're not looking at it in hand, and maybe on any other day this might have gotten a 9 from PSA. So I consider this to be a pretty strong 8, as does PWCC. It just, like, those colors are bold, and yeah, that's just really nice. Justin also liked the Eddie Shore. Yeah, definitely can hear what you're saying on that, Justin. Both Great. Yeah, a great start to the show with these 3 cards off the top. All really cool cards. My favorite is going to be the Eddie Shore, followed by the Espo, followed by the Horton. Usually the Horton might be number 1, but if this was more centered, it would definitely be number 1 for me. All right, let's go to row 2 here, guys. We have a 1969 O-Pee-Chee Tony Esposito rookie. These guys are brothers, everybody. Phil debuted in 65 or so, and Tony in 69 or so, and he was a goaltender. So this is it's a BVG 8. We have a 1970 Topps Bobby Orr in a PSA Mint 9, and then a 1972 O-Pee-Chee Bobby Orr also in a Mint 9. So let's take a look at these. The Esposito, it's Topps. It's a lot harder to tell if it's a like pack pulled or sheet cut. So I'm not even gonna try to figure that out. Noticing a bit of surface issue right here. Otherwise, the card is nice, and it's a BVG 8 Topps Tony Esposito rookie. Sorry, O-Pee-Chee. Okay, hold on. I was confused there, guys. I was confused with this Topps card. I'm going to restart this. This is an O-Pee-Chee card. It may or may not be sheet cut. These cards are often well cut anyway, so I'm not sure about this one here. You often can see on the right, you can kind of see this bluish tint on the edge. I noticed this on a lot of these cards, and that's like the stock showing through a little bit. I think I've noticed that on several copies in the past, so it's very common. I think the 8, it's graded down to an 8, I think, because of this surface issue here, because the centering is a bit to the left, but it's still, maybe it's more than a bit to the left. This might be like 60-40, maybe even 65-35. The edges and corners are super nice. It's the surface here in the centering that are likely bringing it down in grade to an 8. Now we have the Topps card, the 1970 Topps Bobby Orr. This thing is an absolute blazer. I mean, look at it. His eyes are closed. You got the 4 spotlights. This, by the way, these spotlights are Josh's favorite attribute of any or design element he's ever seen on any card ever. Josh,
you got to throw in on this one the Oompa Loompa legs on Bobby Orr.
Yeah, and the Oompa Loompa legs on Bobby Orr with these little skates on the bottom. And then finally, the 72 O-Pee-Chee PSA 9 Bobby Orr. And, if you're doing the Bobby Orr run, this card fits right in it. This is a tough card. Not the most attractive, but definitely, it's in this PSA 9 holder. Looks really good. Top right corner has a bit of a, less than a 90-degree angle here. That might just be edge issue. And then you're seeing a bit of something going on over here. Some sort of print defect coming down over here and a little bit up in here as well. You're also noticing a bit of like right in here on this black line, sort of some print issues. They're minor though. It's not that bad. This bothers me more than this does up here. And I'm not sure. I think that's the design of the card right there. I think that's part of his glove. Everything else, it's a nice looking card. It's maybe not the strongest 9 ever, but it's still a nice mint 1972 O-Pee-Chee Bobby Orr. Josh, your thoughts on those 3?
Yeah, well, 2 of the 3 I like. And the Bobby Orr it's a nice copy. It's a nice card. My own personal opinion is it's the spotlights and the Oompa Loompa legs that I just can't get over. But I appreciate the card for what it is, of course. One of the Mount Rushmore hockey players, and very nice copy of that card as well. And then the Tony Esposito rookie. What I appreciate about that card is just the what do they call that like style? Like it's more like a candid style of photography. It's not real stage. It's like they caught him in the locker room. They said, "Hey Tony, grab your stick and make a pose," or something like that. And that's really the card. I also think you look at those leg pads; those things had to weigh about 80 pounds a piece.
Yeah,
it's amazing. And Troy talks about all the time about how heavy that goalie equipment used to be and how incredible strength these guys would have too, because the stuff weighs nothing today that these guys wear comparatively. So I appreciate that, and I agree with you on the other Bobby or the 72 that it's kind of fitting at the time, but a nice card. Maybe not the strongest 9.
It looks just like 1972 though. That design is so 1972. Here's his 1974 in a PSA 9. This is a Topps copy. The O-Pee-Chee's tougher to find in high grade. So there's the Topps copy for you. We've got, now this is my card up for auction tonight. This is the O-Pee-Chee 79 Gretzky rookie in a PSA 2. We'll take a look at that. And we have an autographed rookie card, an autographed O-Pee-Chee rookie as well. So let's have a look at the two Gretzky rookies. We'll start with the one that is mine for another half hour or so. And this is a really nice 2. Look at the centering and the registration. Those are the two finest qualities of the card. It's not, obviously it's not perfect. It is a 2 for some very good reasons, mostly to do in the corner areas. So let's zoom in and have a look. So right here, I mean, this corner, you know, it's a mess. Like, look, that thing's a bit of a mess for sure. You got really edge. You got surface corner wear coming in pretty deep into the corner, and then the wear kind of comes right into the body of the card over here as well. Top edge is okay for a 2, pretty good for a 2 actually. Top right corner, and again, it's a 2, and you can see that you come down the edge. You've got some edge surface wear coming down. You got rough cut over here, more rough cut, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. Bottom right corner, the best corner we've seen so far, probably the best corner on the card. And then the bottom left corner is very similar to the other 2 corners. But look at the oil drop. It is like the magenta plate is perfectly placed. The yellow plate is down and to the right a little bit, which is causing a bit of this blur on the lower leg here, as you can see on the bottom of the legs. But look at the black lines and the white. There's no break between the blue and the black. No break whatsoever, which, you know, I really like that. And if you just zoom out overall, the card is like the centering. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it's really, really good. And that's what's going to sell this card. And that's why, you know, this is a card that I thought I would keep for myself, because I thought, you know, how many 2s are this present this well despite the corners? And you know, well, one thing led to another, and I decided not to keep it for myself. But there it is, sitting at 6 1/4 right now, as it is. And we have this authentic autographed Gretzky rookie. The card is not graded, but the autograph gets a 10. This is a really nice autograph. Now, you know, it's thick blue Sharpie. The card itself, I mean, you can see super rough cut on the left edge, off center to the left. But when you're buying the card like this, you're really buying it for the autographed Gretzky rookie card. And I mean, I say that, but you know, you should also want to get as nice of a card as you can too. So I know this is going to make somebody very happy. It's a great looking auto. The card itself, I mean, the oil drop's pretty good. You're still seeing a bit of blur here on the bottom of the legs. Oilers and Edmonton are on the same plane. Actually, let's look at this one too. Yeah, the Oilers word is a little bit lower than the word Edmonton, and the word Edmonton does have a couple of white spots in the letters, so you know that's not less than ideal. Whereas this one is pretty thick all the way through, and the Oilers is on the same plane. Versus again my 2, where you can see it's again not a perfect print job, but centering is still very, very nice. And that one there, Josh, your comments on the Gretzkys?
Yeah, let's go back to your card first, if we can, real quick. So here's what I love about this card, and it's kind of a theme we've been talking about over the last couple months with lower graded vintage cards. It becomes a game of trade-offs. And what I love about this example is, to me, this is a Jeremy Lee PSA 2, right? It has all the things that I know you appreciate most about this card, in the very good registration, of course, and that the centering is pretty good. And then obviously where the biggest weaknesses of the card are in the corners. And so that's the trade-off when you saw this card, of course, that you said, well, here's what I care about the most, and I can live with the damage on the corners, where another collector might have a different opinion on that. And so I just think it's a great, like I said, representative of how you have to play that trade-off game when you're looking at lower grade vintage cards.
Yeah. I'm glad you point that out. The uniformity of the condition around the whole card is nice and natural. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a nice card. You know, I think Wayne is such a nice auto. I prefer his auto not to be a thick Sharpie, even though it looks pretty good there, because you lose some of the detail that you
Yeah.
typically get in his signature. But if you are a person that covets a Gretzky auto or rookie auto, this is probably a pretty good, decent option for you.
It is for sure. Yep. Agree. All right, let's keep on going. 1980 cards here. We have a second-year Gretzky, but this is the second team All-Star subset card, I guess we could call it. We've got 2 Ray Bourque rookies, a BVG, or I guess a BGS 9 and a BGS 9.5. All 3 of these are OPGs. Let's put the 2 Bourques up beside each other and see if we can spot much of a difference. I mean, it's like the slab is different. We have BGS here and BVG here on the 9.5. Let's ignore that for a moment. This looks really nice, though. I mean, the centering is perfect. Like, really, that side-to-side centering, I think, is just bang on. How about the 9? Really good centering on the 9 as well. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, the color is good on both of them. Maybe better on the 9.5.
That could be
Kind
the
of going
photo
back
too, though.
It could be the photo. It could be the photo, because this one does look like a more solid print than this one, but it could be the photo. Tough to I mean, listen, it's the same photography equipment that's taken both of these pictures, you would think, at PWCC. So I'm not sure. Although the slabs have changed over the years, as you can see just by the frosting. You see frosting throughout this one, and you're seeing very little frosting on this one. So, well, let everybody take a look at these 2 cards, decide which one you may or may not like the best. And then you've got this one here. This, again, the second All-Star team card, looks to be in really good condition. These may or may not all be sheet cut. We're just not 100% certain on these. I mean, you kind of default to thinking that, but we'll leave that to you to decide. Josh, thoughts on those?
Well, I don't know. The BGS 9 Bourque looks very attractive to me, especially when you're talking, what is that, like a 6x difference in price right now?
Yeah, we
Would
are
you really
17
pay?
and a quarter. Yeah, 6.
Oh, that's crazy, because I just don't see 6 times more higher level condition in the BGS 9.5. Obviously, it has a gem grade, so there's going to be a price difference there. But just looking at on the merits of the card, boy, that 9 looks really attractive to me right now.
Yeah, it is very nice. Let's keep on going. Let's try and get through some more of these. We have the second-year Gretzky, BGS 9.5, the O-Pee-Chee, and the Mark Messier, BGS 9.5 O-Pee-Chee as well. The Gretzky sitting at $1,150, the Messier at $1,400. And, they are, just go have a look at these. I think they both look beautiful. For, like, the centering on these things it's really, really good. And I feel like I can tell even from this angle, okay, I'm not going to show off. I'm going to open these up and have a bit of a closer look here just to make sure. Yeah, I mean, this one, I think the centering is really strong on it. I'm noticing a bit of a fade down here in the bottom right corner on the, right over there. I don't know if that's on the slab or on the card. I think it's on the card, because you're noticing some up here as well. And the Messier, bit stronger. You've got some scratches on the slab here. I can tell right here. You can see scratches on the slab as well. But yeah, I mean, for cards that are I'm gonna assume these are not pack pulled, but they're still pretty nice for what they are. Josh, anything to say about those 2?
No, again, super nice. It's kind of a nice run here, a very early 80s Beckett 9s and 9.5s.
Yeah. Well, then here's a BGS 9.5 third-year Gretzky. We don't, pay a lot of attention to the third-year Gretzky, but it's a great card as well. And centering 10, everything else is 9.5s on that. So have a look at that if it's something if you're doing a Gretzky run in BGS, there are some great options for you. We have a PSA 10 Steve Yzerman rookie card. Love this card. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the Yzerman. Let's see what we think here. First glance, I'm not a fan of this card. You don't have a great top left. This is a 10, right? Yeah, it's a 10. I don't love that top left corner. Isn't quite sharp enough for a 10. You've got this big orange gap here between the black outline and the red fill in. That shouldn't be there. That's an extra. You got extra. It's an extra. It's like when you go from a 2-color to 3-color patch and you think that's a good thing. This is a bad thing in this case. You shouldn't have that third color there. That yellow should not be there. Coming down, his face is blurrier than it should be. You got the rough cut coming down the right-hand side, not very uniform or even. Blurry face in the corner here. Registration issue right there again, under the circle as well. Zoom out. Let's look at the centering overall. The centering's, it's not perfect. Slight counterclockwise tilt, actually. I advise against buying this card at PSA 10 values, everybody. I strongly advise against buying this card at PSA 10 values. This is a PSA 9 at best, in my opinion. This is definitely overgraded, in my opinion. PWCC did not give it an eye appeal rating, which is a good thing to see because that would have been double whammy against the card, in my opinion. So take it for what it is, everybody. Strong 9 maybe, but I wouldn't even consider this to be a strong 9 myself. So yeah, it's at $3,000. Too much already, in my opinion. Josh, anything you'd like to add to the overgraded Steve Yzerman?
Is this the same one from a few weeks ago?
It might be. It might be. That's kind of what I don't know for sure, but that's gone through my head that maybe it is, because I feel like I've had to be very critical on 2 PSA 10 Yzermans here on PWCC in the last 3-4 months. This might be the same one. I don't know.
We beat up that other one pretty good.
I just beat this one up pretty good too, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm basically saying, very fair. Don't buy this card. Like this card is way overgraded. Like this is an 8.5 maybe.
Yeah, it's such a low pop on these cards too. So it's a good. I think what we've learned then in the last few weeks is if a OPC PSA 10 Steve Yzerman rookie is a card that you covet for your collection at some point, choose very, very carefully. Don't buy the grade.
That's right. I see in the comment, Hobby Champ says, will we ever see a nice one? I own a beautiful PSA 10 Yzerman. And I'll put it up on my Instagram later after the show. If you guys want to go look at it, I'll put it up on my Instagram and I'll try to do it so it's nice and zoomed in. And I'll tell you, I was scrutinizing these things for years and I waited for the right copy because I wasn't going to pay PSA 10 money for a schlepper like this here. Like I just wasn't going to do it. All right, let's keep on going. Another autographed card. This is a Brett Hull. This is the 1985 Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs. Hey, yo, Hockey Cards Gong Show in the house, everybody. Let's have a look at this. This card was a big deal back in the early 90s. I remember when Brett Hull was like the darling of the hobby and people started to look for other Hull cards because all you could get was his 89 or his 88 rookie, his 89 cards. And then there was this Minnesota Duluth card here. And this is a pretty nice copy. I love the autograph. Looks really good on it. The card is just slabbed authentic. The autograph is a 10. Josh, tell us whatever you know about this card.
Well, at that time, I lived in Duluth. My mother attended the University of Minnesota Duluth to get her dental hygienist a degree from there. And I went to kindergarten in the first grade. And we would go to the deck, the Duluth Entertainment and Convention Center at the time, and watch the Bulldogs play and watch Brett Hull. And I have this card. Now, here's the thing. What I love seeing this in the auction, but I'm kicking myself because I had a plan to take this card with me to the expo where Hull was a signee. And I had a very cool yellow marker that I had tested on some comments from that. And I just, you ever just get lazy? And I didn't want to wait in a line. And now I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, you idiot. I should have done it.
Yeah, it's a cool card though. And I won, $180. And then we have a PSA 9 Mario Lemieux rookie card, OPG. Let's take a look at this 9. Pretty nice. Rough cut across the top, as you can see. Top corners look good. Edges are nice, really nice. Bottom edge is good. Bottom left corner has some fray going on there. Less than a perfect corner right there. And centering, I'm noticing some clockwise tilt, minor clockwise tilt, little off center to the right as well. But the image is beautiful and bold, nice and dark. Really like the image on this copy. I think it's an average 9 right there, in my opinion. Josh, any thoughts on the Mario?
Yeah, I think it's a fine 9. What I appreciate the most about this is, and this is just a personal opinion, to me it has like the perfect degree of rough cut. I like a little bit of rough cut. I don't like when it looks like it's super frayed, and so it's subtle, but yeah. So this is a card that I wouldn't mind having.
All right. Good stuff. All right, let's here we go. Another Mario. This is a BGS 9.5. We've got his other rookie year card, the rookie scoring leaders in a BGS 9, and a Topps rookie also in a BGS 9. Have a look at these cards, everybody, if you are interested. We are now in extended bidding, all access extended bidding. And we have a trio of 1986 OPGs, all great cards. And it's interesting, all the BGS tonight. But this is the Gretzky. Awesome looking card. I love the 86 Gretzky. I own a copy of this myself. There's a Patrick Waugh rookie in an 8.5. And Mario's second year card in a BGS Mint 9 right here. I'll let everybody have a look at these for themselves. They all look pretty fancy to me from here. Josh, anything on these final 6 before we go to the next page?
Just one quick comment on the 86 Lemieux. I just think that's a really cool card. I understand it's not going to be the most valuable card, but if you like Mario Lemieux and you want to collect a really neat and just awesome looking card, that's one I like very much.
Yeah, well, the PSA 10 of this is pretty low pop and goes for pretty good money. So this is a BGS 9 sitting at $84. I guess that a PSA 9 of this card sells for like $4,000 to $5,000. Sorry, PSA 10. PSA 10. Yeah. PSA 10. All right. Let's before we go to page 2 here, let's just go through some comments. I got a whole bunch of them going back a while. First of all, Hobby Champs, only the high bidder on 3 items this week. None are hockey, losing about 15 with a bunch of hockey losing. Well, good luck to you on the ones that are remaining, Hobby Champs. Chad Shipper, welcome and good to see you as always, my friend. Jeff McMahon, what is going on, Jeff McMahon? Cards AH, welcome to the show. Jeff Morris lets us know that all 4 color variations of the Eddie Shore O-Pee-Chee are rookie cards. I'm pretty sure we've gone over that before on the show. And the Sport Kings even though Sport Kings came out 6 months earlier, it's because it was a multi-card set, maybe, that it's not considered to be his mainstream or one of his mainstream rookie cards. Daniel Pincente liked the Gretzky PSA 2, that being my card. Thank you, Daniel. And Justin Bode says, I think it's odd how much this Gretzky rookie, the auto, is going for, but that's how it is across the hobby. Now, yeah, these autograph rookies are going for good money lately. Justin, as you well know, Phil says, big fan of the Crayola Midnight Blue auto on the Gretzky rookie. And Jeff Morris says, notice that almost every card from that era, which is like the 78 through mid-80s, the photos were shot in Washington, which is a neat little trivia point right there for sure. All right. Yzerman has tilt too, says Daniel. Yeah. All right, guys. Good evening, 90s hockey collector. Welcome to the show. Hobby Champs likes that Brett Hall, but doesn't like that the card itself isn't graded. And Daniel A is wondering, maybe all these BGS cards are from the same person's set. Gary Saboff, welcome to the show. All right, page 2, guys. Dominic Hasek, Upper Deck French. We're going from vintage to like kind of semi-modern now all of a sudden. Dominic Hasek, Upper Deck French, PSA 10 sitting at $94. This is a 97 Donruss Elite Wayne Gretzky status, numbered out of 100. Pretty cool right there. Numbered on the back out of 100, sitting at $195 in PSA 7. And then a O-Pee-Chee Chrome Season's Best Gretzky BGS 9.5 sitting at $27. Josh, your thoughts on these three?
How is that Gretzky only $27? The Season's Greetings. I love that set. I'm a huge fan of O-Pee-Chee Chrome.
I think one thing is that there is a refractor parallel. Maybe
that's not the refractor. I got
not the refractor. Yeah, if that was refractor, I think you could add a 0 and 50% to it probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But still a cool card.
It is.
And just a lot of great, mid-90s insert cards. And so a couple of fun ones to look at.
All right, let's keep on. This is a beautiful card here. This Guy Lafleur 2006, the Cup limited logos with a piece of the Fleur de Lis here from the Quebec Nordiques logo. Guy is pictured in his Canadiens uniform, so you're getting both ends of the Quebec hockey spectrum right there. Nice autograph as well, sitting at $575. I mean, deservedly so. This is a really cool. This is just a cool looking hockey card. Hey, Josh.
It is cool, and we talked about this one on our show a little bit. Now, I think for some people that it's going to be hard to, that get irritated when the patch is from a different team than the image that represents the player. The other thing that I found really interesting about this card, if you can zoom in a little bit, is the Fleur de Lis, I'm pretty sure is screen printed.
Yeah.
So at the time, the NHL was using screen printed jerseys. So it's like, do you call that a patch? What do you call it if it's a screen?
Yeah,
print?
I think we do. I think we do call it a patch, even though it's not, just to be consistent with like where what piece of the uniform it comes from. But not all teams were doing this, but some were for sure. Yeah, it's a cool card. This is a card I don't think I'd ever seen before. 2006 Fleer Tiffany Alexander Ovechkin. Pop 1 of 1, second year card. This is a really neat card. I have to check. Pop 1 of 1 right there.
Yeah.
Guys,
so is that like Topps Tiffany? Is that the same thing?
It is. Like in baseball, they had glossy. Fleer was the glossy sort of parallel or box set. I don't know. I've never seen this card before, and I think it's interesting for $52. I don't know if anybody wins it. Let me know. I think it's a really neat card. It's one that I'm intrigued by, and I don't. Is that a misprint? Is it not supposed to say Tiffany on there? I don't know.
So I have kind of a related question for you. This is something I've been thinking about for a number of months. Could Fleer and Fleer Ultra be one of the most maybe slept on hockey brands? I just feel like that there's a lot of really cool cards that even today, even the new Fleer Ultra set is kind of cool. It was an EPAC exclusive release, which I don't love that part, but that says Tiffany right on it.
Yeah, right there, Tiffany. So I don't know.
Are you a fan of Fleer?
Hey?
Are you a fan of Fleer hockey in general?
Big time. Oh yeah. Love it. Love it. This is a cool card. I don't know where it's from. But if I was in a loose mood, I'd be buying this card right now for sure. I think it's really cool. I'm guessing they didn't do it in 05, and this might be the first time they did a Fleer Tiffany in hockey. I don't know for sure, but really a neat card. All right, and then we have the Alex Ovechkin 2005 Beehive rookie card in the BGS 9.5 holder right here with everything's 9.5 except centering is a 9. Centering looks really good to me though. I don't know why that's under grade or not, why that's not better than a 9. All right, well there we go. 3 neat cards right there, everybody. Continuing on.
Just some price context, Jeremy, on the Ovechkin. There was a BGS 10 that sold this past January for $150. And then an SGC 10 that sold in June of 2022 for $100.
This one here, the Fleer?
Yeah, that card.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't watching those. Okay, and there's a bid coming in right now to 56 on this one. Yeah, neat card. And that price, though, those comps are very instructive, I would say, for anyone who's looking to purchase. So repeat them, please. I thought you were talking about that one when you started. Please.
I'm sorry. Comps. No, yeah, the Fleer Tiffany. there was in January of 2023 a BGS 10 pristine, which they said is a pop 2, sold for 150 US. And then the SGC 10 copy of this card sold in June of 2022 for 100 US.
Yeah. So I mean, this card should be somewhere between that 1 and 150, I would think. I mean, I'm not one to give a premium to a BGS 10 pristine card myself. Bids are coming in. I guess must be someone. I'm thinking it might be one of you guys that's watching. I don't know for sure, but I this is a card that I have no problem sort of like, advising my friends to buy. I think this is a really cool card. Just because I've never seen it, maybe because I've never seen it before. And then it's a pop 1 in a PSA 10. So that should give some added comfort for a card that's almost 20 years old as well. 17 and a half or so years old right now. All right. 3 cards on this row, 2 of which are mine, for at least until the night is over. We'll start with the one that isn't. Derek Stepan and Ryan McDonough, dual autographed NHL shields from the Cup. 1 of 1. Pretty cool. $340. I mean, for a dual autograph shield, $340 is pretty darn cheap. Stepan and McDonough both had good careers, decent careers. So we'll see I can't see this one ending at $340, but maybe that's what they go for now. I don't know. And then this pair belonged to me until tonight. We have the 2014 Fleer Showcase PMG Green Wayne Gretzky. It's a mint 9. It's a pop 1, only 10 copies made. He's pictured in his Oilers uniform. I've kind of, talked about this on my Instagram. I think it's a great card, and it's one that I'm going to miss having this card. I do have his 2012 PMG Green, and that's kind of where I drew the line. I said, I only need one of them for myself. So let this one out there go to a great home. One thing I'll say about this card, from a design perspective, I wish that Upper Deck in the designing of this card didn't add this kind of rebar sort of design element up at the top, this dark gray thing, or this one at the bottom. I wish they would have had this green diamond effect kind of going throughout the card top to bottom. I think it would have been a more aesthetically pleasing if they did that. However, it's got the PMG brand going for it, which helps it for sure. It's from Metal Universe and all that stuff. And he is pictured in his Oilers uniform, which the one I kept is LA. The 2012 Fleer Retro is LA. So nonetheless, PMG Green, Wayne Gretzky, low pop 1, none higher in PSA at least. I don't know what the population would be in Beckett or SGC or even tag rating for that matter. And then you've got the Jack Eichel rookie card, diamond, sparkling diamonds from 2015 Fleer Showcase. The Skybox Premium Sparkling Diamond. It's a BGS 9. Only 5 copies of this card exist. A PSA 9 sold earlier tonight for $201, I think. I think it's really, really cheap for what I consider to be a rookie card of a player out of 5. It's just a really cool card. It has lineage with the rubies. It's a parallel to the rubies card, which are really awesome in all sports. And but I think, considering the PSA 9 did $201 earlier tonight, $135 for BGS 9, and BGS is kind of doesn't get the same prices that PSA does, even though you should look at the card, not so much the label, but people look at labels more than cards oftentimes. But I would say 135 versus 200 might be maybe a little bit low right now. But listen, I'm not sitting here trying to jack up the price on this card. It's not that expensive of a card. I just hope it ends up in a happy with a happy collector at the end of the day. And he's having a great year with he won the Stanley Cup last year as well. So there you have it, Jack Eichel. Rookie year card out of 5 right there. Josh, your thoughts on any of these 3? Any and all?
Well, I'll start with the Derek Stepan. Hastings, Minnesota native, newly retired. Hastings about 15 minutes from where I am right now. So kind of cool to see the card in that regard. And I love your Gretzky PMG. I'm sure it was a tough one for you to let go. But understand you have your reasons. And I don't mean this in a way to pour any salt in your wound at all, Jeremy, but it's just crazy how far down PMG values have gone. And what I mean by that is man, for a card like this that right now is at $1,650, 2 years ago, this card would have been unaffordable by most people. And so, again, not trying to pour salt in your wounds, but I make the point to say that, and I've thought this about a number of PMGs lately, that, man, if you like PMG cards, and I don't know if they'll keep going down 6 months from now either, but the cost of entry is way more palatable than it has been in a real long time.
Yeah, very, very true. Yeah, you're right. If we could only, like, I say it all the time on all my content, like, I don't I don't time the market. I can't time the market. If I could, I'd be very, very wealthy right now. And if I knew to sell this card and many others, a year or two ago, I'd be very wealthy right now. But I didn't at the time didn't have the reasons to sell them that I do now. And I'm happy at this. Like, I'm okay with what it is. We could kick ourselves all day long for not selling things at the height of the market. And I know I'm certainly not alone in that. And, but
and I know you bought all these as a collector a long time ago. So I'm sure you've done well, but am I a fool to say that that's a $10,000 card in 2022 or 2021?
yeah, I think that's about right. I think it would be $10,000 to $15,000 in 2020. Yeah. 2021, early 2022, perhaps. I bet this would have gone for, conservatively $8,000 easily, easily. So,
but again, I mean, and it's unfortunate on one regard from you, but again, that brings me back to my main point is that, the market is so much more accessible right now for people that are collectors to own some really awesome cards that, are much more affordable. And so this is a great option.
yeah, well, yeah, I agree. I think it is very affordable now compared to before. And just like you said, Mitch says Tiffany was a parallel the base card in the packs, one card per box, one Tiffany per box. Justin likes it. Mitch says they look the same as the base, except they are printed on with a glossier stock. And I think they're pretty rare because it was easy back in the day to not notice your card was a Tiffany. Yeah, thanks, Mitch, for bringing us up to speed on the origin of that Ovechkin card. Cards AH says, what years do you think PMG started to lose their relevance and stature? For me, it's when they brought them out again in Metal Universe in 2020, and then again and again. That's when. So I do like the 2012s, the 13s, the 14s, right up until the 16s. I think 12 to 16 are the years that I really like PMGs. 2020 forward. I do like the employee stuff as well that came out, when they didn't do it normal. They didn't do normal PMGs like in 2015, 16, 17, 18. I think they're still doing them. And the one thing about the modern PMGs, modern being 2020 forward, is that you have the gold 1/1s. And while those are awesome chase cards, they kind of bring down the allure of the greens and the other ones now that there's there's the big gold 1/1 that a lot of people would love to have. And now the green isn't the rarest anymore. I wonder if that's the case. I'm just not sure right now.
Well, your Gretzky this one has, so if I'm right, 1 through 10 was green, and then 11 through, was it 35 was blue, and then 36 through 100 was red. I really like that, if I'm right there.
I'm not sure about where it splits off with because blues were out of 25, I think. I'm not exactly sure. They just weren't consistent year to year with how they did these.
Where I think the big mistake, quote unquote, with PMGs was, I think 2020 was fine, but then two things happened that really killed the momentum in my mind. They made e-pack parallels, so now you just have more of the same PMGs. And then in 2021, they went back to the well on the 97, 98 retro design. So it just seems like that they were a dime a dozen by that point.
No, you're not. That's why personally I will keep the ones I have from pre-2020, but I'm not collecting PMGs anymore. I'm done collecting and jambalayas. I'm done collecting jambalayas as well. There's just too much of it. Just like jersey cards. I still to this day collect the first and second year jersey cards. I have complete sets right there on my wall. Almost first year complete, 96, 97. I'm missing a couple. I don't collect jersey cards anymore. You know, same thing with PMGs and jambalayas. I like the first few years, and then that's it for me. Okay, Brian M says, Jared, is that your Wayne Gretzky for sale right now? Yeah, that right there is my Wayne Gretzky for sale, Brian. It certainly is. We've spent too much time on it already. We're going to move on, but thanks for the question. Diamond Dog in the house. What's going on, dog? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Justin said he likes it. And Hobby Champs, Upper Deck did well with the NHL Star Rubies. There's only 2 sets with vets. Yes, I love those. Oh, I love those cards so much. All right. And Diamond Dog, hot take, I think jambalayas are hideous. Some years are hideous. Some years are not very nice. Other years are, I think, just beautiful. All right, let's keep on moving here, guys. We have a Young Gun Connor McDavid sitting at 1875 PSA 10. We got the BGS 10 Young Gun Canvas McDavid sitting at 11 1/4. And an OPG Platinum Red Prism Alex Ovechkin in a PSA 9 holder out of 199 copies produced. This is a Pop 5, one graded, only one PSA 10, sitting at $31. Josh, any comments on these 3 relatively simple cards?
Yeah, actually, the Red Prism Parallel in OPG Platinum is one of my favorite value cards. Like when you're looking for rookies, or it's just you can find some really good deals. It's not super rare, of course, at 199 copies, but it's not like there's a million of them either. And so I'm personally a big Red Prism fan. Just want to
I think that's a fair card to have as a favorite for sure. All right, Brady Tkachuk, SP Authentic Future Watch Auto at a $9.99 in a PSA 10, sitting at a very modest $270. Rasmus Dahlin, Young Guns, PSA 10, Buffalo's Young Defensive Stud, $68. And Brady Tkachuk's Young Gun at $100. I mean, there's like, what, 75,000 of these on the market out there, and there's 999 of these and 270, so 2.7 to 1 right now. I mean, that should be changing, I would think, but this one's autographed. This one isn't. Future Watch, all sorts of value in Future Watches, in my opinion. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I would much rather have the Future Watch than the base Young Guns. And, just a couple of really, really good hockey players that have marginal hobby impact. Sorry, Phil. And, a couple guys that you can make a case maybe should have more relevance than they do, because they're both having pretty good seasons too. So, if you like them as players, pretty palatable pricing.
Right on. Oh, another Red Prism. One of Josh's favorites, the 2019 Platinum Connor McDavid Red Prism, PSA 9, Pop 6. There are 5 PSA 10s on the Pop Report, says PWCC, $26. Good value there. We have a Cale Makar Retro Future Watch Auto. This is the 08-09 year, the same year as the design is the same year as the Stamkos rookie year. Yeah, 08-09. It's a BGS 9 sitting at $575. And a SGC 10 Pristine. Kale, I think that's a Pristine. No, Gem Mint.
No, it's 10.
Yeah. Gem Mint 10 SGC, Cale Makar, Young Guns, sitting at $250. Josh, this was what, $1,500 a little while ago?
Yeah, and we just looked up today. Cale Makar is like, what he's doing is insane right now. I think he's leading the entire NHL in the game score metric. He has the highest percentage of assists to goals on his team. He's like second or third in points right now. And, a PSA 10 is going to run, I think, about $460. So here's a great opportunity, because SGC they do a decent job grading, in my opinion. Here's a great way to get a really nice Cale Makar Young Guns at an SGC discount.
Yeah, no doubt right there. Here's a nice Makar card. Upper Deck the Cup. It's the rookie class gold foil, numbered out of, what's this numbered out of? 75, a bit higher than I thought, which will make it more affordable. It's a PSA 8. It's a thick card, $390. Rookie year autograph card right here from the Cup, everybody. That's a nice big autograph too. That's a nice looking card for $390 right now. Tim Stützle, speaking of PMGs, this is the 2020 Metal Universe PMG Retro Red. Nice looking card. PSA 7, fair grade for a PMG. Seems to have something going on it, actually. Let's open this up for a moment. It's got this. Look at that right there. I mean, that is That's an eyesore for sure. I've never really seen something like that isn't right on a corner or edge of a PMG. So be aware of that. If you're buying this card, it's got like a birthmark right there.
Somebody shot with a BB gun.
Yeah, maybe that's a hole in it. I'm not exactly sure. And we've got a Platinum Portraits 2020 Metal Universe Austin Matthews PSA 9 for $135. Now, these are awesome. These are awesome cards. Love them. And I don't think that this is like an achievement version. I think this is the pack pulled version right here. Cheap at $135 right now, guys. I think. Hey, Josh, what do you think?
Oh, the pack odds on those are insane. They are so tough to pull. And we mention this all the time, but it falls into the class of you're not going to really get it until you hold one in your hands and you see it in person. And then because it's a million little die cuts that go into the card, and it's pretty awesome just feat of printing.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see if we can get to the end before the first extended bidding window ends, which is in about 4 minutes. So we've got it's just a nice looking Doug Gilmour autograph out of 10 from SB Signature Legends. This is the black auto out of 10, BGS 9 on card auto. Really nice Gilmour card for $120. I wanted to look at Lafreniere. I mean, the guy is not having a horrible year. I think he's got 10 goals now, something like that. He's on pace for like 40 goals, 35, 40 goals. PSA 10 Young Gun, $72. And Kirill Kaprizov from the Minnesota Wild, PSA 10 Young Gun, sitting at $110. Josh, any comments on these three?
Kaprizov's missing in action. Can't say anything nice about him. Right? I love him still, but I'm just mad.
Lafreniere. What about Alexis Lafreniere?
I think he's getting more opportunity. They're moving him up in the lineup a little bit and giving him chances. And so far, he's delivering. Not generating a lot of assists, but it could happen. You can't not be impressed by the start to the season. And then the Gilmour auto is $120 for out of 10 copy of that card. That's pretty awesome. And it could be this best set in the last 2 years.
Lots of Leaf fans, lots of people love, lots of Gilmour collectors out there. Lots of people love collecting Doug Gilmour for sure. All right, last page of the favorites. There's only 4 on here, I believe. Let's let this thing load up for us. Here we go. So we've got the Tim Stützle Young Gun, PSA 10, sitting at $120. Stützle's a great player. He's young and he's having a decent year so far. Here's the new SPX 2022 SPX Grand Finale Ovechkin. I would love to see this in hand. It's really kind of weird looking, two-dimensionally. I haven't seen one in hand, but like this thing is out of 50 as grand finales are. There's a picture of him right there in the background. Again, you got the full body shot here. I'm not sure if there's anything else design-wise going on at the bottom, kind of 20% of the card that you can't really see from this image. Number 10 of 50 right over there on the card. Grand finales have some equity going back to the 90s. And I wonder, what will happen with the new ones. And I've never seen one of these again. I'd love to hold one in hand and get a feel for what it actually looks like. And then we got a 2022 Ovechkin. This is from SPX Holographs. It's a red die cut autograph. Let's open this one up and take a look at it. Just some neat examples of new cards that have really just come out. And that is a sticker autograph. You can see the sticker there, so note that. But pretty nice looking card. Neat die cut shape to it. BGS 8. Corners are 7.5, which is, I wonder why. Those top 2 corners look nice.
How do you grade a card with rounded corners?
I think like you would an edge, maybe, right? Just I don't know, but maybe there's something going on this bottom right corner here that's bringing it down to a 7.5 on corners overall. But a neat card. I'd never seen that before. And then the last card on our list here is this Upper Deck Game Dated Moments Connor Bedard from 2023 in Team Canada. SGC Gem Mint 10 at $115. And Josh, we're 10 seconds away from this first window ending. Any comments on these 4 cards? Any of them?
I pulled a grand finale. So I think Atu Ratti, the young now Canucks player, is probably in the AHL. So they are pretty cool in hand. The Ovechkin holographs, that is a new insert this year. And I feel like in this case, and I'm sure it's a hard card to image, but I think the image is a little dark. I would love to see this card in hand. I just
Yeah.
have a sneaky suspicion that it's way cooler in hand than it presents in an image.
Yeah. So how did you like the grand finale that you pulled? Is it nicer than the kind of looks here?
Yeah, it is cool. There's a lot going on, of course, and it's kind of like like someone took like a grinder on a sheet of metal a little bit, but pretty cool. And it's definitely very unique in a good way.
All right. Well, so the Bedard game day to moments is sold for $138. The Ovechkin grand finale sells for $50, and the Ovechkin holographs red die cut auto does $252. Meanwhile, Stützle is still going over here. So let's go back. Let's start at page 2 and work our way back towards page 1. What is still going? So the Hasek French upper deck sold for $113. These are still going. Let's see here. The Lafleur limited logo sells for $690. The Shield card sells for $408, so that's going to do it. My 2 cards are still going here, which I'm happy to see. Of course, I'm happy to see them still going. There could still be more bids. The McDavid Young Gun Canvas does $13.50 in BGS 10. Ovechkin Red Prism, $37. These are all going still. Makar Retro Future Watch does $690. The Makar Cup Auto does $468. And the Gilmore autograph sells for $144. All right, let's go back. Let's go to the top, reset, and come here to the first page we looked at. All right, everything. Oh, the Eddie Shore does $1,800. Beautiful card. Very happy for the winner. Would love to own a copy of that one day. Hopefully I will. The Tony Esposito O-Pee-Chee BVG rookie does $264. And the 72 O-Pee-Chee Bobby Orr PSA 9 does $1,020. The Gretzky rookie. So my PSA 2 Gretzky sells for $750. And the autograph copy sells for $3,000. So this didn't get any more. This was at $2,500 before. Didn't receive any more bids, with the 20% buyer's premium sells for $3,000. Continuing along, the Ray Bourque BGS 9.5 is sold now for $2,070. The 9 is still alive. Still going on the 9. The Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs autographed Brett Hall card sells for $216. And the Mario Lemieux Topps BGS 9 rookie sells for $492. That's just seems cheap, even for a Topps BGS copy. The 86 Gretzky O-Pee-Chee BGS 9 does $113, and the 86 Patrick Waugh O-Pee-Chee rookie BGS 8.5 does $360. So that is what is sold so far on the cards that we are watching, and we are now a minute and a half away from the next window. So cards that have, as we scroll through here, green means that it's going to get into the next bid window. So there's going to be another 5 minutes of auction on cards with green, whereas cards in orange here need another bid to get into the next bid window. So we have a lot of green here. Only one red right there so far. We've got green. We've had some bids have come in on my Gretzky now. It's green. The Eichel is sitting at red. We're red here on the Young Gun, the McDavid Young Gun. So that might be it for that card. We'll see. All red here. Red. We're green over here on that one. Red and green. Red and green. All right. Any card you'd like to look at, Josh? Anything we didn't, and to the chat as well, anything that we've kind of glossed over too quickly for your liking? I'm going to obviously want to see what's going on with my card. So I'm going to hover right here for a minute. And another bid came in on the Gretzky at 18.25 now. So thank you to anyone who might be watching, bidding on what is my Gretzky card for another half hour or so. Josh, anything you want to mention?
Yeah, I've been doing a little research project here while you're talking. So the Yzerman PSA 10 is the same card that sold on October 22nd.
It's the same card. Okay. So that doesn't tell us why it's the same card. I mean, did the buyer look at it, decide they don't like it and want to sell it, or was it not paid for last time in there? It's being relisted now. I don't know the answer to that, but I'm kind of glad to see that it is the same card, Josh, and that we're not just seeing a proliferation of, of overgraded PSA 10 Steve Yzerman rookies. That it's more of a, at least for what we're seeing, a one-off case, not a two-off case, right? I mean, that gives me a bit of comfort. It also gives me comfort that I've been super harsh on the same card to the same degree twice.
And then the other card I was looking up really quick is the Phil Esposito rookie, the PSA 8. That seems right now to be ahead of recent comps. Recent comps have been like 2,500, 2,700. So with buyer's premium, it'll be like, what, 28, 2,900, something like that, which makes sense to me because it's such a nice, clean, crisp copy of the card.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. So we've now gone past the other level. We are now into the next level of extended bidding. So the Tim Horton is now sold $336. That's a pretty good deal for a card like that. Nice looking card. I mean, the centering is off, but still, for second year Tim Horton, PSA 7, $336. Congrats to the owner of that. Justin Bode says that Phil is a 9 all day. Chuck Clement says, wild to think that Gretzky postcard PSA 10 sold for $19K a couple years ago. I'm not sure what card that is, Chuck Clement. Which Gretzky postcard are you talking about?
I think there's one in the auction this week.
Okay, so we're just not watching it tonight. Let's see what else is sold in the last since we last went through. The 1970 Topps Bobby Orr does just shy of $2,000, $19.80 for the Topps card. Very nice to see. That seems like a good result. The 74 Topps Bobby Orr does $810. People love their Bobby Orr cards. These are all still going. The Yzerman does $3,720, and I think that's about $3,200 too much, maybe even $3,300 too much for that card.
Yeah, it's sold for $4,200 on October 22nd.
That was $4,000 too much then.
Yeah.
Rally Sports Cards, can you explain the buyer's premium fee, please? Yeah, it's 20% on top of the final bid. So, for example, let's find an easy one with some easy math. These are all tough math here, but $125 is actually $150 because 20% of 125 is $25. So that's how PWCC makes their money, Rally Sports Cards. Hobby Champs, I figured you would have the Gretzky postcard rookie on. I don't consider any Gretzky postcard to be a rookie, Hobby Champs. It's just not something that that I am interested in personally. With that said, guys, if you guys are looking at the PWCC previews ahead of time before the show, feel free to send me a DM or a message, however you want to get home, and say, hey, Jeremy, would you mind putting this card on your watch list for you and Josh? And we'll do that. We're happy to do that. But really right now, it's me going through them pretty much myself, starring the ones I like, going over it with Josh, making sure that there's anything he wants to add. And if not, then we're good to go. But the show is all about you guys. So feel free to reach out. If, you kind of know the cards I'm bringing on, you listen to the Gong Show, so you know the cards that Josh is talking about. If there's something you think maybe they won't look at, let me know. And we'll happily take a look at a card like this Gretzky postcard, 100%. It's a pop 4 PSA 10. Yeah. It's not something that I'm personally interested in. So I apologize, guys. I wish I had that foresight to bring it on. All right.
So in your mind, what's the card of the auction this week?
Oh, it's got to be the Gretzky. It's the Gretzky PMG right here. Oh, more bids up to 22. Thank you, everybody, for your bids. Please keep the bids coming.
I was actually going to say that too. To me, and I'm not just saying that to patronize you. To me, I love this card.
I think I do think that this is worthy of being the card of the auction, but the Esposito, I think the Esposito is also, yeah. And, now that I like the Shore better, but the Esposito is, it's more people covet this Esposito card than the Eddie Shore, and it's so strong for the grade, and it's sold for $28.80. I think that's low, to be honest. I do think that's a great deal for whoever just picked that up right there. Yeah, really, really beautiful copy. So we've now passed another bid window. So let's see. These are all sold here. The Eddie Shore 1800, the Horton 336, the Esposito rookie 2880. We've seen these three, or the two Orrs in the Esposito. These we know have sold as well. I want to thank anybody who may have bid on what was my PSA 2, Wayne Gretzky. Thank you for bidding. So this card is still going. The Gretzky card is still going here at $575. The Bourque's $456 for the 9 and $20.70 for the 9.5. So just about 4.5 or so X multiple on the 9.5 to the 9. All still going here. All three of these cards are still going. Second year Gretzky, third year Gretzky, and the Messier rookie. The Yzerman rookie is done at $37.20. $216 on Brett Hull and $21.90 on the PSA 9 Mario Lemieux rookie card, which is $21.90. What's that, about 2,900 Canadian? Yeah, that's maybe a bit low, but not terrible.
I think I saw a PSA 10 just sold for something like 39,000. I want to say.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right for sure. The BGS 9.5 Lemieux does $4,920, $150 for this is a rookie year card. This is from his rookie year. It's just not the rookie card. It's higher up in the set. And the PSA 9 or the BGS 9 as we saw does $492, $360, $252 on the second year Mario. Oh, up to $2,300 on my. I gotta say, I like seeing bids come in, especially when I know this would have been like $8 to $14,000 a couple of years ago. Let's go to the top though and see what's going on here. $276 on the PSA 7 Donruss Elite Status Gretzky. PSA 7, but out of 100, not a lot of options to own this card right there.
Cool card.
So, cool card for sure. $32 on the puck providers here. The Tiffany Ovechkin is still going. It's at $100. The Beehive Ovechkin rookie still going. $2,300 on my PMG Green Wayne Gretzky. No bid. Need a bid to go into the next window. $2,250 is the current price now on a McDavid Young Gun PSA 10. At least here and now tonight. We saw those two already. The Kachuk, the Brady Kachuk Future Watch Auto does $348. I think that's good value. He's a good player. He's a really good player.
Oh yeah, great player.
Great player. $120 on his Young Gun, and the Darlene does $81.60. Still going here on the Red Prism McDavid. Stutzla PMG Retro Red does $162, and the Matthews Platinum Portrait is still going at $200. And look at this. Lafreniere is outlasting Kaprizov and the Gilmore Auto on this row, sitting at $86 right now, plus buyer's premium, of course. Let's see if the Gretzky's got. The Gretzky did get another bid. It's up to $2,500 now with another window to go. Let's do some comments now, guys. Josh, anything before I go to comments?
Just one real quick is the Makar SGC 10. I think I saw sold for $300 with buyer's premium, and going back to the PSA 10, current value is $450. So that's a nice 33% discount for SGC.
Where did that card go? Oh, there it is. Right there. Sold for $300. So yeah, you're getting a good deal on this relative to the same card, but in different plastic in a PSA holder. All right, let's go to comments now. Chris Perkins only found this show a few weeks ago. Absolutely love it. Chris Perkins, thank you so much. Really honored to have you here with us. Yeah, and thanks for being here. We enjoy doing this show, Josh and I, for sure. We do, for sure. Diamond Dog says, has anyone ever seen buyer's feedback show up as private? Yeah, seen that quite a bit, Diamond, over the last few years. Cards AH still seems crazy to me that the PMG and the McDavid Young Guns are the same value. Yeah, I've never owned a McDavid Young Gun, and I'm okay with that. Cards AH says, I'm out on the Gretzky. Sorry, Jeremy. Well, hey, that's okay, Cards AH. Thanks for your interest. Thank you for your interest in it in the first place. All right. So we've now passed the level. Let's see if we've lost any more cards, and we can start to reduce the amount that we're watching here since most of these have sold. Yep, everything here. Well, this one is still going. The second-year Gretzky is still going. This second-year Gretzky just got a bid up to 17 and a quarter. These are all still going here. Yep. Sold. So I'm going to do a quick refresh and see what that does to this page. All right. Oh, that pretty much brings everything that's still going. I believe. No, it doesn't. Josh, can you give me 3 minutes and handle things with it? You want to just talk to the chat and do some comments for 3 or 4 minutes for me?
Yeah, can definitely do that.
You got me? Thank you.
Yeah. All right, help me out, chat. What are we going to talk about? I have no ability to control the screen, so we can watch the OV Tiffany, the Jeremy's PMG, and the OPG Gretzky. Anything hockey card related that we want to chat about? Hello? Anyone there? I can talk about the Wild if you want for me to be depressed. Okay, Daniel says, what's the next card on your list that each of you want to add to your collection? Well, that's a tricky one. I can actually tell you. So I got the 2016 OPG. They had a Easter egg called Glow Peachy. I actually bought it from Jeremy at the expo, the Wayne Gretzky. I'd really like the Ovechkin because I love him in the red and blue Capitals uniform he's in. So that's the next one on my list. Rally, you won your first PWCC auction. Sweet. Which card was it? You got to come back and tell us which one that is. Cards AH says, Josh, are you going to be on the Bedard hunt this year? I don't know yet. It depends. I may try to get creative with it. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a base Young Guns raw or something like that. Just not going to go to that point. And I'm a little bit wait and see. Now, I do wish a little bit I had bought maybe a case pre-sale when it was somewhat realistic pricing. So at this point, I'm just going to wait it out. Diamond Dog Sports says, my Coyotes are cooling down, sad face. Well, they're probably not doing as bad as the Wild. So at least you have that going for you. Chris is Penguins fans. What happened to Kalen Addison? Okay. So yeah, that was a tough one for me as a Wild fan. Oh, sorry guys. I'm going to go in now. Going on my team a little bit. Very, very good on the power play. Really assertive and strong with the puck, but almost from the get-go, the coaching staff and Bill Guerin, who's the GM of the Wild, didn't believe he played any sort of defense whatsoever, and he just seemed to be in their doghouse. And it honestly surprised me it took them that long to move him. But yeah, he was fun to watch on the power play. Javi Chance, I won 2 cheap baseball cards tonight. Lost all my heavy bids. Jeff McGann says we could talk about the Wings versus Wild game today. Why? Yeah, we suck. I didn't watch it, Jeff, because I was working on our show for today, but I'm kind of glad now. I'm assuming it wasn't pretty. Rally, you got the Ovi Fleer Ultra BGS 9.5 and the link. So, Rally, did you get? Is that the? No, that's not the Tiffany. Wait, no, yeah, because it's a PSA 10. Cards AH, the only Bedard I would like is the Tim Hortons 10A Redemption, as I've been doing that set. Yeah. I'm curious what the card looks like. I haven't really. I've just seen the redemption version of those cards. So yeah. Plan to attend any card shows before the Spring Expo, Justin? I hope to. Probably some locally. I don't know if we'll go anywhere else. Cass, I see Jeremy's back. Is the cup coming out soon? Did you hear the release date? Well, I think the tentative release date is December 23rd. We'll see if that sticks, and then we do a whole preview of a bunch of the designs on our show tomorrow.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep, no worries. Chat helped me out. Big primary assist to the chat here tonight.
I see that. I'm like, all these comments came in. Very nice. Thanks, guys. I'm not, you know, had nature calls, right? What can I do? Had to step away. Okay. Well, I'm just going to see what happened. What did happen in the comments here? What's next card? What's Daniel? Did you answer this question?
I did, but you can answer.
What's the next card on your list that each of you want to add to your collection? I mean, gosh. Wow, look at all the comments, you guys. You really stepped up for Josh. Thanks, everybody.
Bailed me out.
They bailed you out. Yeah, for sure. I still want to get a Lou Gehrig. I want a Lou Gehrig card for my collection for sure. Rally won your first PWCC auction. Congratulations. OV Fleer Ultra BGS 95 and a Langway SGC 7. Hey, congratulations. The Langway. So I'm guessing Langway is the 1980 rookie card. Very nice. Very nice. Hobby Champs won 2 cheap baseball cards tonight. Lost all my heavy bids. Hey, well, more money for next week then, Hobby Champs. More money for next week. Jeff McMahon says we could talk about the Wings Wild game today. He's just kind of, he's having fun at your expense there. Josh, I saw him, what was a 4-1 win? Detroit, something like that. Cards A8, yeah. The only Bedard I would like is the Tim Hortons 10A Redemption, as I've been doing the set. Yeah, a lot of people love the Tim Hortons set up in Canada. It's very popular year over year.
Do you have any interest in Connor Bedard?
Do I? I mean, not in his cards yet. I'm interested in his play and seeing that he does well, but I'm not going after his cards yet, personally.
Is there any guy that you collect post OV and Crosby? Like any guy that's currently playing that you actively collect?
No, not really. I mean, I really like Jake Ottinger, you know, the Stars goaltender. I really like him. But there's nobody that like I collect player wise since Ovi and Crosby. Well, McDavid. I collect McDavid. You know, but it's like not like I collect everything. I have some cards, you know, I have some cards and that's about it. But yeah, for players right now, I mean, eventually I will buy some Bedard cards, but I'm going to wait. I'll probably focus on his second year cards because they will just be so much cheaper than the rookie year cards. And more of them will have game worn memorabilia and they'll still be cheaper than the rookie year non-game worn stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going to wait for. I think I will collect Bedard cards if he looks like he's what he's supposed to be. Justin
he's
Collins,
doing great.
Sorry, anything else on that?
No, go ahead.
Plans to attend any card shows before the Spring Expo? Not me. Nothing right now. I think I'll be missing my very first Burbank show. I've been to all Burbank shows, all 3 of them so far. I don't think I'll be at the February one. Not 100% certain on that yet, but I doubt I'll be there. And otherwise, unless there's something locally here in Calgary before the Spring Expo, that will probably be my next big show. How about you, Josh?
Just local stuff at this point.
Cast 99, Josh, what did you say to this? Is the cup coming out too soon? I mean, it's already too soon compared to the last one, but still late compared to when it should have come out on a regular calendar. It's sometime in December, right?
December 23rd. Yeah, we do a pretty deep dive on tomorrow's Gongshow podcast.
Okay, well, I can't wait to listen. As I do, I'll hear your opinion on it then. Hobby Champs, what do you think the bounty will be on the Bedard 101 Sunburst or whatever it's called, Young Gun? I mean, I know we talked about
the Outburst Gold. So this is where, like, for the past 6 months, I think people think I'm nuts. I think it's going to be big, and like bigger than I'm guessing 500,000 plus. Now, every time I say that, whoever I'm talking to, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, say, no, it'll be like 75,000, 150,000. I just don't believe that.
I think it'll be 250 minimum. I wouldn't be surprised if it's $500,000. Just watch my card here, guys. 16 seconds. If there's no bid, it will end at 2,600 plus BP. So this might be the end for the Gretzky PMG Green on the night. We have 6 seconds to get a bid, or it's going to be over at $2,600 plus buyer's premium. Looks like that might do it. Let's let it turn over. And it is now sold for $3,120. and I will get a chunk of that. So thank you to the bidders. And if the winner is listening and watching, please let me know who you are. And I hope you do very well with this card and enjoy it in your possession.
Are you set? How does that match your expectations?
I didn't know what to expect. I mean, honestly, I didn't have any. I'm okay. I genuinely do not feel disappointed with that number right now. You know, it was sitting at like, what was it sitting at before we went live? Like $1,600.
$1,600, I think. So
yeah,
I almost. Yeah.
So it pretty much doubled. So I mean, I didn't know what to expect with this card, and I mean, even earlier today, I don't even think it cracked $1,000 starting out the day. So. Yeah, I'm happy with it. It's a card that I actually submitted to PWCC back at the National, I think, in Chicago, and it sat in my vault I had it listed as a fixed price listing for like $20,000 or something pretty crazy, and I just decided to list it, to sell it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take whatever cash is gonna come. I'll let the market decide. And tonight, the market says it's worth $3,100. I'm going to believe it, and I'm going to be okay with it.
Well, actually, I want to kind of linger on this a second, because it's one thing that I've noticed, really since maybe August, you've started to sell a few cards, and I really do appreciate your mindset to it, that you don't get, because it is a roller coaster if you're moving cards, and if you let yourself get emotionally caught up, good and bad, you can drive yourself crazy. And so I really respect kind of your mindset towards that, that just letting whatever happens happen.
Yeah, you have to in good times and bad times, ups and downs. You just, whatever they go for at the time when you decide to move them. So no, I'm good with it. Obviously, it would have been a lot better if I would have sold it 2 years ago, but I didn't. And like you said earlier, I don't know exactly what I'm into this card for, but if you look at my ROI, I probably 15x'd my investment on this card. I'll try to actually, if you bear with me a moment, I'll try to find what my cost is on, and I don't mind sharing that with everybody here. If I can find it now, it might be tough for me to find here quickly, but let's see if I can. Let's see. It's just so far. I've got so many notes that I search through that it just sometimes doesn't come up. Oh, is that it? No. Yeah, I don't even know how I'm going to find this thing right now, unless I do it one other way. I have one other way I can do this. If I go find the picture of it when I submitted it, which is, I got to go way back in my pictures now. But it looks like Cards AH did win the card tonight. So congratulations, Cards AH. Enjoy it for sure. Says he was eyeballing it all week. Very nice. Very nice. Diamond Dog says, end of the day, a card is only worth what a person is willing to pay for it when we decide to sell it. It is what it is. Great way to go about it. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's as really as simple as that. When we decide to sell it, that's really what it comes down to. I agree completely with that outlook.
I may have said this before, and I apologize if I do, Jeremy, but I'm kind of curious if you feel the same way. Every time I try to outfox the fox in this hobby and make money, I don't. Anytime I just buy a card because I think it's awesome and I want to have it in my collection, those are the ones over time that I tend to make money in.
Right. If that's just it, if you are going to hold your cards, you are going to do okay. Okay, I think I figured out how to find it now. Here we go. I found the card. Yeah, I did really well. I bought this card. It's 2014, right? Yeah. So I bought this card in July of 2019.
Oh gosh.
For $159.65. So
can't be too bad.
So I almost 20x'd my money on the card. So, when you look at it that way, I'm not sitting here and going to complain that I didn't, 60x my money. I'm not that greedy. Like sure, who does 60x better than 20? But I'm okay with a 20x on a card. Like I did all right. I'd be a jerk to sit here and complain about something like that. So, all right, let's see what's going on here. This one, the second-year Gretzky, second All-Star team, sells for $780. We still got lots of cards going. Well, these two might be over in the next 42 seconds. We'll see. We're at $1,900 on the second-year Gretzky and $1,775 on the Messier rookie. The third-year Gretzky's at $2,300. Look at that. Third year is outselling the second year in BGS 9.5 holders. Hey, third year is outselling the second year.
Has that OV Tiffany is more than doubled since I think we started talking about it too.
It has. It has. You said we saw, what was it, 150 on the BGS 10 and 100 on the SGC 10, and we're almost as high as we're actually past the BGS 10 pristine comp on this card, because this is now, there it is, 156, $6 more than the BGS 10. Okay, so now everything is sold. $780 on this, $2,280 on the second year Gretzky, $2,760 on the third year Gretzky, $2,130 on the Messier rookie, $156 on the Fleer Tiffany Ovechkin, $3,120 on Cards AH's new PMG green Wayne Gretzky card. It's so cool when, Cards AH has been watching for a while. So neat. I can't wait to like it on your Instagram. All right, $45 on that. $252 on the Matthews Platinum Portraits. We saw this go for $1,800 before. Looks like everything else is about what we were seeing earlier. Nothing too new there. Let's see what's going on this page. So we're going to see a bit of repetition here. Anything still going? Looks like pretty much so. I got 186. So my card sold for $3,120, $750 for my Gretzky rookie, and 186 on my Eichel tonight. Of course, I don't get all that. That does include buyer's premium. All right. Well, it looks like we're pretty good to wrap up, Josh. I think all the cards that we were watching tonight have been sold. So let's see what Diamond Dog makes. Another comment here. It says, collector mentality always comes out on top. Holding on to a card you actually enjoy is never a burden. Making a couple bucks on the back end is a win-win. Worrying about every penny possible isn't fun. Yeah, Diamond Dog. Dog in the house tonight, right? Words to live by right there. Agreed. Diamond hands mentality, always less stress, more fun. Yeah. And you know what? You never know where life's going to take you and when you might decide or have reasons that cause you to decide to sell cards. If you've been watching my content, you know that my life plan is that when I'm like 75 years old, I go on a road trip and I go to all the card shows and sell off my collection. Well, I've sold off some of my collection in the past few months because circumstances change. Something I didn't really see coming. And when I still have great cards in my collection. I'm very happy with what I still own, but you make some tough choices. And I find that as I've moved some cards, I find that I feel more in control of my collection right now, Josh. I feel like I don't know, just more focused, and it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling to feel more in control of the collection. And so I'm just right where I want to be right now.
Yeah, I can identify with that. I've tried to think more about curation than quantity. It's like, what are if I could have 50 great cards, wouldn't that be better than having 500 cards that I'm about?
So those are some. So my collection's like 3,000 cards, and I've probably moved in the last 6 months. I don't know. I'm gonna put out a guess of. Not many. Well, yeah, many. I've probably sold about 550 cards in the, this year. Yeah. So 550 out of 3,000. So about a fifth or a sixth of my collection is gone. And I haven't been buying a lot. Like I'm being very disciplined for financial reasons right now. And I do hope that these circumstances change and come, April, like if everything falls into place for me in April, I'm going to check out what's selling here on PWCC. I'm going to check out what's going on at the Sport Card Expo, and I'll probably go on a bit of a buying spree because things will kind of, I'll get out of this sort of cash crunch I'm in. And when that happens, I will be, but it'll be different. It'll be different. It'll be more focused, and it won't be like, just buying every card I see that I like. I'll be more focused. So
yeah,
makes definitely sense. Orlando says quality over quantity. Yeah, that's yeah. Sometimes you got to get you're forced into something, and it just opens your eyes to a new way, or just, I don't want to say a completely new way, but like an adjustment that ends up making big differences down the road. Like when you're driving your car, Josh, and I remember learning this when I was in driving school in like 1988. I remember my driving teacher telling me that when you're driving, if you make the littlest turn with your hands, that's going to completely change the direction of your car. That's why when you're driving in a straight line, you're always making minor adjustments the whole time, right? You're always making these little minor adjustments to stay the course. I think the same thing happens with the hobby. If you make a minor to semi-minor adjustment here in December 2023, it could have a humongous impact on how your collection looks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. And I felt like I've done that this year, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
No, I think that's a very appropriate analogy. And and I also think that it's worth it every few months or a couple times a year, whatever it is, to kind of evaluate what you're doing as a collector and say, what's my goals? And how are my actions taking me closer to my goals or further away from my goals, and then readjusting at that point. And it's a very personal thing, and it's supposed to be a hobby of enjoyment. So I think it's very appropriate to do.
Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. Cards H also got a Sid exquisite patch out of 10. Very nice.
Nice card.
Love exquisite stuff. So that's when we weren't watching tonight then. How did I miss that? Well, okay. Congratulations. Card. So not a great patch, but game used. Very cool. Justin Bode says, like they say, less is more, baby. Cards H says, I feel good when I can declutter my cards and consolidate. Right on. And Steve Sue says, what exactly is extended bidding for? Shouldn't it still be? It is. Extended bidding is open to all bidders, Steve. It's just the mechanism with which the auction ends. But extended bidding is open. It's called all access extended bidding on PWCC. Other auction platforms not all of them are all access, but PWCC's is all access, Steve. And it has been since
2 months.
Since like April, I believe it was April.
Oh, wow.
Or so.
Okay.
What did you think? What were you going to say?
I was going to say like maybe 3-4 months, but you're probably right.
Yeah, it's been a bit more than that. CC, thank you so much. All right, well, we're going to wrap up, everybody. So thanks for joining. Thanks for everybody for your comments. Thanks to Josh for covering for me when I had to step away for a couple minutes. Thank you, everybody who bid. If you the Cards AH, thank you for bidding on my card tonight. If anyone there won my Eichel or my Gretzky rookie, congratulations and thank you. And but thanks for bidding on all the cards here on PWCC tonight. We will be back next Sunday with another episode of the PWCC Weekly Hockey Auction Watch Party. Josh and I will be back. Josh, final comments.
I'm going to wave now so you don't cut it off. No, thank you everyone for tuning in. The chat is really what makes the show, I think, the most fun. And 3 a.m. new Gong Show, like every Monday morning.
3 a.m. new Gong. And again, please everybody, trust me when I say, if there's an auction in any of these PWCC weeklies that you want us to look at, and you're not sure if we're going to, send Josh or me a message on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever you reach us, and let us know what that is, and we will bring it up. And we don't even have to say that it was you. If you just want us, but you are looking at it, but you want to hear what we think, but you don't want to tip your cap, you don't want to show your cards that it's like something that you're looking at buying. We don't have to say. You can let us know. We won't kind of show your cards for you if you don't want us to. But we're happy to look at them, and because I don't want to miss cards that you guys want to hear about. That's important for us, that we are covering the cards that are interesting to you, not just to us. Of course, we like talking about the cards we're interested in, but we want to cover the ones that are interesting to you. So don't hesitate to reach out to make sure that we will be looking at a card that you want us to look at. Please do that. Thank you, Hobby Champs. Thank you, Orlando. Great to see you. Diamond Dog, thank you so much. Jeremy, Foul 5-ball, thank you. Justin Bode, good to see you, buddy. Gary, great having you. Thanks so much. Mike Double V, good to see you, my friend. All right, guys, with that, this episode of the PWCC Weekly Hockey Auction Watch Party is now over. Thank you.